John Carpenter's films have brought us many terrors over the years: serial killers, ghosts, terrifying aliens, alternate dimensions, dystopian futures. Chevy Chase as the Invisible Man with Daryl Hannah as the love interest. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But he's never tackled vampires anymore until Vampires, 1998 film, or rather John Carpenter's Vampires, as the full title states. This movie, now, when I first saw it long, long ago, and I'll admit, on first viewing, I didn't like it that much. I don't really know why. I kind of maybe just dismissed it too easily. But having watched it again recently, I gotta say it's a really good movie, actually. I think time has been kind to it. I think it's held up pretty well, especially considering kind of the climate of where vampire movies are right now, I guess. We definitely have stuff like Twilight that kind of pussifies vampires, for lack of a better word. Even when they are meant to be threatening villains, it kind of gets bogged down to a lot of less than convincing, like kind of like CGI type of looks to them instead of like the makeup that's really cool in a movie like this. So I don't know. I think I think this is a better movie now than it was back then, just in hindsight, maybe. I don't know. But I mean, John Carpenter, of course, he's the fucking master, and he brings a lot of flair and action and, of course, horror to this movie, and brings, a lot of stuff we've seen before with vampires, but different angles to it. This one, it makes it very clear, they kind of say right off the bat, okay, forget everything you know from fucking movies about vampires. They are not these charming guys. They're not afraid of garlic. They're vicious fucking creatures, and they're going to fuck your shit up, so watch out. So, I mean, basically, it's all about main character played by James Woods, Jack Crow, who's a vampire hunter extraordinaire. He works, with his team to fight vampires, hunt them down, kill them, and he's kind of like Captain Ahab, always looking for the master vampire who's kind of like the source of it all. And from what we learn about the movie, it's kind of like it goes all the way up to like the Vatican. So the church over the years, I guess, has aided as best they can in the crusade against killing all the vampires and stuff. So we kind of learn that there's other setups, but this movie's about this particular team with James Woods, and so they really got it down to a craft. Of course, they're always prepared when they're hunting down the nests, as they call them, of vampires. They're fully armed. They have their methods. As we learn in this movie, the vampires are really hard to kill. So like they're shooting them up and stabbing them, and then finally, the ultimate way to kill them is sunlight. So that's kind of what they have to do, and they kind of pull them out on a rig with a truck, and they have the priest there. So it's a whole kind of procedure. And the film opens with them going through one of these raids, basically, and things go really bad really quick when, in fact, one of these masters that Crow has been looking for so intensely, he's left behind. He's like hidden in the dirt while they, raid a kind of a derelict farmhouse, and he finds them. They're having a victory party and everything like that. He massacres the whole fucking team, and it's up to James Woods and his teammate Daniel Baldwin, as well as a woman who has been bitten by the master and kind of has this psychic link with him, to kind of save the day. And there's a whole kind of conspiracy, like has someone set them up for failure and things like that. So it's kind of like a ticking clock kind of movie. They have to kill the master or else they're pretty fucked. And so a lot of stuff goes down, and it's pretty good. James Woods, I'll say, he's a fucking badass in this movie. I mean, you don't normally kind of think of him as like the go-to badass guy, but he's really cool here. He has like, the leather jacket and the shades and all these one-liners and stuff. He has like kind of a filthy mouth, and he's just a delight. You can tell he's having so much fun with this movie. And, John Carpenter, I think kind of what he said, he approached this like a Western, which it does kind of feel like, especially with some of the stuff near the end. It becomes this whole big standoff kind of thing, and kind of like, just kind of like macho attitude about it, which I like, which is pretty good. And just a lot of great vampire effects. So I think it's very entertaining. I have a few qualms with it, nothing too huge. I think like the pacing is maybe a little off. There's certain, the movie kind of like opens really, intensely, but then it kind of drags a little bit, and, it's kind of structured in a weird way. I actually would have liked to see more of the day-to-day of the operations of this vampire killing team. We see things going smoothly only like for like 10 minutes, but then everything goes to hell. So I think maybe if they would have showed the day-to-day, showed more of like quote-unquote good times before everything went awry, I think maybe it would have made everything kind of like in the next portions of the movie, maybe a little bit more crucial, a little bit more intense. So that's just kind of my idea, or what I would have preferred to see. I don't know. Maybe they should like remake the movie as like a like a reality TV show, you know, like The Deadliest Catch, and they like show like a reality show of them and their day to day killing vampires and shit. Maybe that would be fun. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Hollywood, call me. But anyway, I think it's a great, entertaining movie. John Carpenter is the fucking man, and James Woods, he's really entertaining. Daniel Baldwin too. So it's a really entertaining movie. I think it's held up really well, and I think it's a lot better than what people give it credit for. I know I originally didn't think too much of it, but watching again recently, it's really, really good. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it in a while. It's a fucking badass movie, and that's all I have to say. John Carpenter's Vampires, check it out. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit Derek237.com, and stay tuned for more 31 Days of Horror reviews. More horror reviews coming at you. More vampires, more ghouls, and more scary shit. So keep an eye out for that. And until next time, I'll see you later.